Doctors, did you know opportunities abound in your practice? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KC CHIROpulse Podcast. I'm Dr. Michael Perusich, and this is Dr. Troy Fox, and we're brought to you by CATS Consultants and Chiro Health USA. Troy, today I want to talk about opportunities that we see every single hour of every day in our practices and in our communities. And half the time, as doctors, we're just letting them pass right on by us. And then we whine about not being able to build a great practice. And yet those opportunities to do it are right there in front of us.
Yeah. The funny thing was opportunities abound. I found a quarter yesterday underneath my adjusting table. Talk about an opportunity to get rich quick. Now,
Yeah.
on top of that, the other opportunities I have in that adjusting room around that table are massive. And I can utilize my time. I can do mindless stuff like ask people, are you going to the lake this weekend? And then just end it with that. Or, hey, what do you think about the weather? And just end it with that. Or I can find out and listen to what people are doing, and in a very doctor-like manner, because this is what doctors do. We find out what you're doing and go, oh, yeah, you're probably going to need more care if that's what you're doing this weekend. Let's talk about maybe going 2 weeks instead of 3 this time between when I see you. Or another example of good table talk would be finding out that somebody tweaked their knee last weekend wakeboarding out at the lake.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to tell you about that until you asked them about their lake experience and said, so tell me, you go out and you go to the lake on the weekends, right? And so does that bother your back at all? Because you're in your 40s. Oh, no, but you know what? It tweaked my knee. So I think it's good to ask our patients age-related questions as well. I like to ask that kind of stuff.
But you bring up a great point. That is an opportunity that it makes me crazy that doctors miss this. They want to talk about their own golf game. They want to talk about the weather. They want to talk about everything except the patient. And when that patient's there right in front of you, the patient drags probably 20 opportunities into the practice every time they come in with new conditions, with the need for extra visits. I can't tell you how many times I would talk to somebody and I always ask the same thing of every patient. What are you doing this weekend? Oh, you're going to be tilling up your 5-acre garden. Great. I'll see you Monday. Oh, you're going to a soccer tournament and sitting on hard bleachers all weekend. Great. I'll see you Monday. Oh, you're going to be cutting some trees down. Oh, I'll see you Monday. There are so many of those that walk into the clinic. And here's the other thing. It's not just you finding those opportunities as the doctor. You can train your staff to find these opportunities. I don't know how she did it, but Marissa would find more opportunities from patients walking in the door. And the crazy thing is they were all extremity issues.
Yeah.
You can find more patients with plantar fasciitis, which turned into a 12-visit laser treatment protocol. And we hear this all the time. And this is where I think the nutty part is. Oh, I got to spend money on this big marketing program to get all these new patients in so I can get new care plans going. No, dude, they're walking in the door right in front of you.
I think two things that we miss, and these are really too simple. One is the patient that's right in front of you and talking to them. And the other one is utilizing patient success stories and picking out a couple. Pick a couple for the week that you're going to utilize with every patient that walks through the door. And you're going to get a couple of crabby people that don't want to hear them, and you can tell they don't want to hear your story, and that's fine. You can ignore those too. But 98% of your patients are interested in that story that you're going to tell, and it's a success story, maybe with a newer modality you have in your office. Maybe you just got a new class 4 laser that you're using in your office. Maybe you just got shockwave in your office. Maybe you just got certified for dry needling, and you're telling a success story about how somebody's knee got better in all 3 of those cases. And that patient goes, oh, I've got some knee pain. I've just never told you about it. It's amazing. I had one today that his wife told me about a problem she had, and we started her on a modality. And guess what? She started feeling the results of it, and it was good. And he said to me today, now I'm not sure if I'm a candidate for this or not, but would that be something we could use on me? And I thought, opportunity missed on my end, but he picked up the extra point right there for me and went ahead and he threw the shot and made it all net for me because he asked me about it and I didn't catch on to that and say, is there anything we could work on you on? Or is there anything you'd be interested to have me take a look at with that modality? Instead, I just let it go and he came to me. So sometimes those missed opportunities, even if played right with a patient success, even if it's his own wife, sometimes that patient success story prompts them to ask you more questions. So success stories and asking patients how they're doing, I think, are two of the best ways we can find out where our patients are at.
Huge. So we got to take a quick break, but I want to come back and I want to talk about this a little bit more and some other opportunities and things that we see in practice. So we're talking about opportunities abound in your practice. You just got to be paying attention, and they're right there. So we'll be right back.
In today's economy, every dollar counts. Families are facing tough choices, having to reconsider what was once essential to them. But when it comes to healthcare, no one should have to compromise on their well-being because of financial constraints. That's where ChiroHealth USA steps in, the solution for your practice. We understand the financial pressures families are under, whether they're insured, on Medicare, or paying out of pocket for treatment. By offering discounts on care, you can ensure that your patients can still afford the treatment they need. At ChiroHealth USA, we're committed to making sure no family has to sacrifice their health due to financial hardship. We'll work with you to create a game plan that keeps your waiting room full and your practice thriving. And here's the best part. Offering affordable care not only benefits your patients, but also positively impacts your bottom line. So why wait? Join ChiroHealth USA today and join the ranks of the most successful practices. Because when you put your patients first, everyone wins.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the KC CHIROpulse Podcast. Troy, we're talking about all the opportunities that pretty much slap us in the face every single day. And if we're not paying attention, they just fly on by us.
Yeah, we started with picking up change off the floor and we moved from there into, I think, thousands of dollars, actually. We went from quarter to thousands.
Talk about practice jewels we're giving you today. We just increased your practice probably 10 times.
Yeah.
And I got a funny story about finding a quarter under the table. So at the end of one day, I had this beautiful hill flexion distraction table.
Yeah.
But it was notorious for stuff falling out of people's pockets, a pen or something like that. And it just would get lodged down in there. You couldn't really see it. So I'm cleaning the table one day and I moved it a little bit and I found this big old roll of $20 bills bound up by a rubber band.
Oh, wow.
Couple $100. And so for a couple of weeks, we're trying to figure out who lost that and didn't know it. And we're trying to ask people. And we finally wound up giving it to the local Humane Society as a donation. But you never know. There's another opportunity right there.
There's hidden gems all over the place. I heard only rich chiropractors have those. What was that? A hill? What? I've never even heard of it. It's so fancy.
That was a beautiful hill flexion distraction table. So little shout out to the manufacturers of Hill.
Hill does make a nice flexion distractions. I'm just kidding. I've actually got one, but maybe I'm a rich chiropractor too. I don't know, but it's the techniques and the tools of the trade are great, especially when they hide $200 in cash.
Right.
So
I know. See, that's an opportunity.
Let's talk about technology opportunities, because I think that's where I think it's a huge opening right now, but I think people get paralyzed. And here's what happens. People get paralyzed because all of a sudden a doctor that's 59 years old, my age, right? All of a sudden they say, oh, AI is the wave of the future. And let's say I don't know much about AI and I haven't done my homework. I'm paralyzed. I'm freaked out. I don't know how to advertise because AI is going to take over. It's going to do everything. I don't know how to make it do everything. Everybody talks about how it's automated online. And so instead I do nothing. Yeah. So my question is to you folks that are out there, do you believe that old school marketing ways are dead? I'm going to tell you they're not. Newsletters are hot right now. Hot. They're hot. People love reading newsletters. So you are not out of the game if you're not 25 years old and understand how AI works.
And I'll tell you what, the whole technology generation that we're going to see over the next couple of years, we have a lot of doctors ask us, what's the best practice management software out there? And my answer is always the same. It's the one that you'll take the time to build and develop on your own. But I'm telling you, in the next couple of years, we're going to see AI generated practice management software that is going to knock our socks off. So whatever software you have right now, I'd probably just hang tight with it and make do with what you got, because if you try to jump into that opportunity, I think right now, I think you're going to short sell yourself because it's going to be outdated technology really fast. Some of the stuff that they're using today in the hospitals and things, which is they're always a lot more advanced than we are because they have the money, but it will knock your socks off. I'm telling you, it's literally, you don't even have to touch a computer in a lot of instances. It does all the work for you. Just hang on. But there's other technology too that can really help drive your practice. There's two-way texting. There are systems out there where you can send text messages to patients and text reminders and birthday wishes and those kind of things.
So we'll give a little shout out to Aloha on that one, because
Yeah.
Aloha has a great program, and there are probably others out there, but I utilize Aloha. And I will tell you that when patients can directly text you and they can ask a question to just text the number, and I've got staff up front with that board open on the right-hand side. It shows who just texted them and what they want to know and ask the question, and we respond in real time. I'm telling you what, people love it. Our younger patients and older. You'd be surprised how many people over the age of 65 think it's just the cat's meow that we're able to text back.
Yeah.
And text back and forth with them, and they don't have to call me. They can just text and go, "Hey, I'm not feeling great today. Is there any way I can get into the office?" So Aloha has a really good program that's tied in with their software that does if you don't know Aloha, look at it, but their software has a bunch of great options on it. But that's just one really cool one that I didn't even know was as cool as it was until we got it. And then once we went through orientation, I'm like, whoa, this is a tool that's really good for connecting with patients, because connecting is important nowadays. If you're not connected with your patients,
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody out there knows this, but Troy and I own an investment clinic, basically. We don't practice in it, but in that clinic, it's very high tech. And it almost runs without a front desk person, almost, because of the technology that's in it. So if you're not using technology like this, and technology is everything from utilizing AI to help do email campaigns and those kind of things, building up your practice management software so it's really working for you, two-way texting with patients, having a good social media presence, that kind of technology really helps drive your practice these days.
But nothing beats, just like this with you and I on camera right now, nothing beats that. I can do a video. I can get on InVideo. That's a company that does some pretty cool video stuff. And I can say, I would like you to produce a 4-minute video on chiropractic care and the benefits of, and I'd like you to do it in Disney Pixar style. And it will create a movie basically, and it'll do it in 4 minutes. Here's the problem with that. Does it connect people to you? No. You can do a few things like that, but here's the deal. Here's the simple basics. People are loving newsletters right now because it's a direct connection to you. And if you have staff write articles, you write articles, maybe somebody puts in a recipe or whatever, people love that stuff. I always tell people it's a good thing to read on the toilet, right? People put it behind their toilet. They do. A lot of people do. They'll print out that newsletter. And the reason I say that is because I get one from I'm in like the shave club or whatever that is, where I get my razors every month, and they send a newsletter in the box, and it's basically, you're supposed to put it on the back of your toilet. And when you go to the bathroom, you read your newsletter. So I don't care where you read it at, but it creates a unique connection when somebody's reading something directly from you. Now, the other thing is when I'm on video and I'm on social media and I'm creating an environment where people are engaging with me, whatever that may be, if it's a Fun Fact Friday or whether you're giving some educational material about your practice or how you work, that brings patients to you again. So from a marketing standpoint, I don't care how technical we get, we can use, and they're not saying there aren't some cool things out there, because we're going to be able to reach people we've never been able to reach in the next 5 years. But if you reach them, now what are you going to do with them? I want to put things in front of them. And quite frankly, creating a CGI, a computer generated image with my voice, is going to be a possibility. But is it what I really want to do? Because people are going to see that. And I think our BS meters are going to get bigger and bigger. And we're going to get to a point where we want the good old times. We want when people talk to people. How many times have you called a phone number and you got that thing, press 1 for blah, 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 press 9 for blah, blah, blah. To hear
And it doesn't work.
I'm like, oh man, I don't even know which one I'm supposed to be on. So now I'm going to listen all night again. By the end of the conversation, at 18 connections later, I finally get somebody on the phone that goes, "Oh, you called the wrong number."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get
So,
this department? I need to transfer
yeah.
you. And then you get hung up on.
So
Yeah.
how,
That's
so,
not customer
yeah.
service oriented.
So
But
how did we get to that point? But people hate that. You know what they really want? They'd love to make a phone call and have a real person answer the phone, right? So people like things that are simple. Sometimes simple is just you talking to them online.
and you walked us right into another idea, and that's making sure that you're making connections out in your community, physically making those connections. So it's not just your patients contacting you or you contacting them. We got to get out in the community and build those community referral networks. When you start working with other professionals, other business people in your town, when people see that you're involved in giving back to the community, wow, that can be a powerful way to build a practice. Getting out and doing health talks, becoming members of a board, doing fundraisers, getting involved in fundraising activities for charities, those kind of things. Not only does it make you feel good, but people see you and get to know you and see what kind of person, what kind of human you are, and they want to connect with you.
And some people panic when they hear that. Oh my gosh, I got to get out in the public and I got to look like a complete imbecile. Gone are the days where you used to have to sit at Walmart and do spinal screenings, folks.
Yes, those are gone.
We've all done them. And guess what? They sucked. You look like a complete imbecile, but we got a lot of patients doing that. We exposed a lot of people to chiropractic, which I thought was phenomenal. But the truth of the matter was, it was never fun to go do. I will tell you this, though. When you get involved in your community, maybe you like to do bells at church, or maybe you like to, maybe you're a clogger. I don't know. I don't know what you are. Maybe you're a golfer. Whatever your fun thing is, that's where you should get involved first. So if you have a couple of activities that you like, if you're a singer, be involved in a choir. Or like for me, we have a huge event in my town every year, and it's the same weekend every year, so I can block it out. But our town like triples in size for a day. And guess what? Everybody in town gets involved in this. And if you don't get involved, you kind of look kind of like you don't care, right?
Sure.
So you know what? I'm pretty good at flipping burgers.
Sure.
Let's come flip burgers for the day.
And you're not above doing it.
Everywhere. I would haul trash if that's what they wanted me to do, but they're going to see me there, and they're going to see me doing something to help the community. It's not me just showing up as eye candy. You notice how I said that, eye candy. But it's really me there to do something. So if you're truly involved and you truly care about your community and you're doing something you love or you're passionate about, you're not going to feel silly doing it. Now, if you're just standing there trying to get people to notice you because you're the new doctor in town, hey, look at me, you probably will feel a little silly. So do it from an approach of helping your community.
I was super involved in the Boys and Girls Club, and we had a huge auction every year. It was huge. We'd have thousands of people there. And I was the president of Boys and Girls Club for several years. And I would always get up and try to mimic the auctioneer. And I can't talk fast. I can't even say, here, kitty. That's about as fast as I can go. And everybody'd laugh, and it was funny. And it got to be over the years, Dr. Perusich, get up there and do the auction. And it was a moment for me to not only just poke fun at myself just a little bit, but to be human in front of a whole bunch of people. And invariably, we'd get 20 or 30 new patients out of that event every year. Yeah. It's amazing. So get involved somewhere. If you have a talent, go play the guitar at church or whatever your talents may be. Or if you have time, go donate that time to some organization in your community. Go be a speaker somewhere. Your civic organizations are always looking for speakers every month. Just get out there, put yourself out there, get to know people.
I'm going to tell you the words of a famous person. She works for me. Her name's Jill. Jill's famous words are, you do you, Fox. And it's so true. You know, the thing is you do you. Like I say, hey, I'm going to go do blah, blah, blah. You do you, Fox. And the truth of the matter is each of us do us differently, right? Sure. The things I may want to do would scare you to death. If I told you that you were going to run a golf tournament with 300 people in it, you may just be mortified. Maybe you've never played golf. But if you told me that I was going to run a church choir, gosh, I'm a horrible singer. That'd scare me to death. I'd probably have a heart attack before I got there. So you got to do what you enjoy. But if you do and you get involved, you're going to get exposure and you're going to humanize yourself. Just like you talked about, a lot of times we are not humanized. And unfortunately, as chiropractors, I hate to be honest with you guys, but medical doctors get put on a pedestal. Chiropractors get people make a determination whether they love us or hate us. And I hate that it's that way about us, but unfortunately, you've got to humanize yourself because people need to see you as a real person. I think it's important.
It is very important. So We need to take another break. We're talking about opportunities in your practice. When we come back, Troy, I want to talk a little bit about the opportunities that we can see with our patients coming in the door. We touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but I want to wrap it up through that. So we'll be right back, everybody.
KC Chiropractic Consultants, your partner in chiropractic success. We are dedicated with one-on-one guidance to bring you all your practice management needs. Let's supercharge your practice. Give us a call today.
All right, we are back to the KC CHIROpulse Podcast. We're talking about opportunities to build your practice almost without having to leave your office, other than getting out and being visible out in the community. But we talked a little bit about this in the beginning, that patients are walking in the door, bringing us opportunities. And yet we're spending time talking about the weather. We're talking about remodeling our house and how we hate to paint or whatever. We're talking about everything but the patient. When that patient's in front of you, it's imperative that you're talking to them about them. And it's not just, how are you feeling today? It's, what's going on in your life? What are you doing this weekend? What'd you do last weekend? Tell me what's happening. And here's what you find out. You know, not only find out about additional visits that they might need, like we talked about in the beginning of this, but you also find out what groups they belong to. Can I come and be a speaker? Can I come and get involved? Do you do fundraising activities? How can my clinic plug into that? So you find out what things they're involved in. You find out what they do at work. You know, maybe they work on a factory line and they do the same movements all the time. Ask if you can be invited to go watch and pick up on what they do, so you can help not only that patient more, but maybe go to the HR director and say, you know what, I think I could help your line employees stay on the line longer with some tips and tricks about how to protect their backs. This maybe have opened up a whole bunch of other people that work at that business. It's little things like that. It's other conditions. It's, oh, you have kids. We need to get your kids into care. Why? My kids don't have back pain, but they do have spines, and they probably haven't had a scoliosis screening, and they're playing sports. So let's just walk up to the front desk and find a good time to get them in. Won't that be great? Parents never say no to that. I'm telling you, you could knock out 6 or 7 new patients a week just by doing that.
Right. You look at all these little things and you think, oh my gosh, if I look at each individual thing we've talked about so far, every one of them is very easy to do, right? So it's a trickle method when it comes down to doing your marketing. So you're marketing in the room with your patients. You got your staff literally listening for opportunities for us to help patients, because I don't see it as just marketing our patients. It's not, hey, I want to sell you something. I'm looking for opportunities where maybe they've got a problem that I can help them a lot cheaper and easier than having a surgery, or maybe a surgery with an MRI and 3 months of rehab behind it. Maybe I can help you for $400 instead of $8,000 or $10,000 and that's the part the insurance didn't pay for. When we look at those sort of things, all those little things trickle. And newsletters, some people don't like to write newsletters. Guess what? Most software anymore will do a newsletter for you. In a lot of cases, they build the newsletter and ask you to add a few key pieces in from your practice to personalize it. And so sometimes newsletters are simple as well. The staff component of this, very easy. You talk in staff meeting and you throw a few examples out and you guys role play in your next staff meeting. And if you're not having staff meetings, start having them. Great time to have one. Have lunch, role play a little bit. You guys will have fun. You'll get to laugh because you guys will, one of you will play the patient, one of you will play the staff member at the front desk, and invariably we'll end up laughing about stuff as we're doing it. But we learn a lot, and we learn how to navigate that minefield we know as the
Yeah, exactly. So I want to kind of wrap up here with a story from one of our clients that he told me a couple of weeks ago. So he'd come off a couple of kind of mediocre months and he was down a little bit. So we started refreshing him and his staff on a lot of these ideas, Troy, that we just talked about. And so they started doing these things again, and the practice started getting busier and the practice started getting more fun. And lo and behold, in 1 month from the previous month, in 1 month, they doubled their practice. They doubled their patient visits.
Well,
They doubled their collections in 1 month just by doing these simple things. And you know what he told me? He said, wow. He said, you're right. It's just balancing all these little things and keeping them present time conscious, and your practice explodes.
and guess how much that cost?
Not
A little
much.
bit of your time, not very much. When
Not
you
very
look at
much.
it. Well, and so when we start talking about return on investment, wow, that's huge.
It's
That-
huge. It's huge.
And your staff has satisfaction. So that means your tension's better with your staff. We all want to keep our staff because
Yeah.
we love our staff usually. I think most of us do. I have a great time with my staff.
Oh,
Any
my
one of
stuff's
them
amazing.
leaves, I feel like they're family. So I want staff to stay. So I want them to be happy and feel fulfilled as well. And then see, add that in here as well. So we're having fun. We're getting more patients in the door. The doctor feels more comfortable. He's enjoying practice again, he or she. And we got staff that are having a good time while they're at it. And they're seeing their doctor have a good time, which will be infectious.
And you're taking more profitability to the bank.
Shall
mean,
back-
This is the biggest win-win thing ever. And I think you said this a second ago. It's easy to do. It's
Yeah.
super easy to do. So if you want to know more about how we help clients, go to katzconsultants.com. We got some free downloads on there. Check out everything we do. Most of all, we appreciate you tuning in every week to the KC CHIROpulse Podcast. We appreciate Chiro Health USA being one of our sponsors. And remember to like and subscribe wherever it is. I always forget where they put it.
Yeah.
You can subscribe. And it's because of you guys out there that our podcast is growing by leaps and
Yeah.
bounds. So remember, opportunities abound. Go find them. Troy, thanks for being on here today.
Yep. Thank you. We'll see y'all later.
We'll see y'all soon.